Hello everyone, this is Just a Dad. Today I'm going to do a comparison between these two Shark robot vacuums. So on the left, I got the newer one, the Shark 2-in-1. It has a mopping attachment, so it'll mop your hardwood floors or linoleum. And on the right, I've got the original kind of AI model. It only does vacuuming. So these vacuums have a lot in common, but there are some major differences. So the first one obviously is the new one does mopping, but I absolutely love, spoiler alert, I absolutely love the older Shark AI. I think it does a phenomenal job. I think the Shark with the mopping, it's lacking some features, mainly in the app. The app, they both share the same app. That means they both use the same mapping. The mapping's okay when you're just doing vacuuming, but you need a little bit better map when you've got the mopping attachment, because you got to put different features in, like a rug, and you need to be a little more detailed, and I found that to be a problem with the vacuuming, with the one that does mopping. Now, as far as vacuuming, I thought they both do a phenomenal job vacuuming. You know, I'll get these on a schedule and they'll vacuum the house for a week. And those chambers where it collects everything will be full of hair and small debris. So as far as vacuuming, they do a really good job. Now, the mopping feature, I thought it did an okay job. It's just kind of clunky how you have to install it. You know, there's not a really good way. You just got to pull the vacuum out. Then it kind of gets an error message. But I'll show you how to do that. Let's look. See, they both have this AI laser navigation that looks the same. They both have two buttons on the front. They added a few more labels to these buttons, which I do like, because this one, to turn it off, was kind of hard, and I had to put my own sticker there. Now, something they added to this one, they added a little blower over here. So the first thing this vacuum is going to do is go around and clean your edges, and that blower is going to come on to kind of blow stuff around to the front. It works okay. But let's take a look at the bottom. So again, they look similar. They've got kind of the same wheels. This newer one only has one rotating brush, where this one's got two rotating brushes. This looks to be the same as far as the roller. You know, I do think they work really good as far as keeping hair off of it. Sometimes you do have to get the small particles off of there. And this one I've had, this thing's been going for over a year now, and it just works really good. So they do have the charging ports are in different spots. This one is actually going to charge up front when it's got the mopping installed, but they both evacuate out the back, so it's going to suck the debris out the back, you can see. So let's take the chamber out. Again, these almost look identical, but they are a little different. They both have a filter. You're going to have to do some maintenance on these. About once every couple weeks or a month, I have to take these filters out. You're going to have a blower and blow them out really good. So again, here's where it's going to vacuum all the debris, and then it will get sucked out. You can tell there is some filters here that you've got to blow off once in a while. This inside looks the same, even though this is kind of made different. Okay, so now the 2-in-1, it does have this mopping attachment. So you've got to put this pad on, and you may have noticed some stuff dumped out. So this one you have to empty manually. So it's going to vacuum before, it's going to vacuum while it's mopping. And then when it vacuums, it's going to put the dirt and debris in here, but there is no way for this to get sucked out, so you will have to empty this out manually. And it also has the same filter. So you're going to turn it over. There's the pad. Now the pads are washable. You can just throw these in the washing machine, and it does have some spots where the liquid's going to come out. And the pad does move back and forth, left to right, when it's mopping. And there's where the solution is going to come out, these three areas. So the pads are easy to install, they're easy to clean. So you do have to get some Shark Vac Mop solution. Okay, so putting the solution in is very simple. You've got a line filled up with water first, and then you're going to put the solution in. Very nice opening to put the solution in. So when it comes time to put the mop attachment on, it goes on very simple. What I found is the machine can get kind of confused. So you had to take it off. It kind of sensed an error, and now it's kind of sensing something. So sometimes these buttons don't quite agree, and then you got to kind of dock it. So now if we just hit the clean button, it should start to clean with the mop attachment. So you can see it's moving that pad back and forth. Now it will do this for a little bit. I think it wants to saturate the pad first. So it kind of spins, and it kind of stays in one spot, and then it starts cleaning. So I think that's just to get solution down to the pad. So I did have some debris down there. It is picking up the coffee grounds. And we can see it is putting solution down. So the mopping part, it works okay. It gets your floor wet. It doesn't get it super wet. It's not going to pick up a big heavy duty stain. But I like that it vacuums and mops at the same time. Okay, so I told it to go dock. So when you've got the mopping attachment installed, it's just going to go dock. It's going to dock the opposite way. It's going to dock the forward way first. So again, you'll have to empty out the base, but at least it does charge it. So the base units, they look very, very similar. They got the area where it's going to suck out the debris. You've got this filter here. You are going to have to do a lot of maintenance on these. These filters do get pretty dirty. A lot of really, really fine dirt. You got to blow it out, wash it out. And they do have a filter on the side here you are going to have to change. This is where it's going to put everything. These are so simple. These are bagless. This is where you're going to go empty everything. These almost look identical. Yeah, they're identical. So inside, you can see they do get dirty, but the debris does come out, but you do have to kind of blow that out once in a while. Okay, so the Shark app, they both share the same Shark app. And in fact, I've got both of them connected. I've got the basement one and the Mop It. Again, I found that when you're doing vacuuming only, it'll map your house and it's relatively accurate. But when you want to do the mopping, that's when you need a really accurate map. And I found that that's where it kind of lacks a little bit. So vacuuming, you can just it does an outline and you give it kind of some no-go areas, and that works very well. And again, the one that vacuums only, I think, does a really phenomenal job. It's just when you want to mop, like my kitchen you've got to give it just a kitchen room. And I found that the boundaries, I kept having to adjust and it just couldn't quite get them right. And then it wants to do a verifying run. I found the verifying run to be kind of odd. You got to follow it while it runs along the boundary, but it wasn't really the boundary and it kind of was going all over a little bit sometimes. So I found that to be kind of a long process to verify the boundary, and it didn't really work. And again, you do have to put the unit with the mop on the linoleum part, whereas the one that just vacuums, you can put it anywhere in the house. But the one that mops has to be in a linoleum or hardwood floor area. Otherwise, it will mop. If you put it over here where the carpet is, it'll mop all the way till it gets to the room where it's going to do the mopping. And I found that, there wasn't any controls over the mopping. It senses the mop head's installed with that little water symbol there. But I don't have any control over the mopping. I can't put down more or less water. It's just, I can control the vacuuming, that's all. I can control how high the vacuuming is, low, medium, or high. Again, if the mapping had better detail, because you got to put where rugs are, you got to put a no-go zone where the rug is. And I've got a rug right here. And when I put the no-go zone, it ends up being a lot bigger. It avoids such a big area when you put the no-go zone area. Again, I've given myself 2 months. I really, really wanted to like this. And in fact, I didn't even use the mopping for a while because I found it to be so intimidating that I didn't use the mopping feature for almost a month. The vacuuming part, again, works very well. I did find that this newer one, it just stops once in a while. So this newer one, when I just had the vacuuming attachment on, I found that there was 2 spots in my house. They were the exact same spots. The vacuum cleaner would just randomly pause. And I don't know what was going on. It just was, and there wasn't an obstacle, nothing in the way. It wasn't clogged up. It would just pause itself. And it would sit there until I went and hit it, told it to clean again. The one, I've never had a bit of problem with the Shark AI, the original one. It just vacuums about once a week. I do have to kind of go find it. It'll get kind of, but I've got it on a schedule to where it vacuums every day at 9 o'clock. It does a really, really good job. This one does a good job vacuuming, other than once in a while it did pause. This is the second unit for the 2-in-1 robot. Shark has excellent customer service. So my original Shark 2-in-1, it wouldn't dock. It would dock, and then all of a sudden it stopped. And it just kind of couldn't find the dock, and it kept going all around the house till the battery ran down. So you call their number, they send you a text, and if you agree to it, it'll turn your phone on, your camera on, and they can walk you through and you can show them your product, show them what it's doing. That just eliminated a lot of time and effort. They tried a couple troubleshooting things, but then they ultimately did send me a brand new one within a week. I did have to send the old one back. They gave me a UPS label. So it was seamless, no cost to me whatsoever. They did send me a new one. Their customer service, I felt, was very good. But I am going to just stick with the Shark, the one that just vacuums. I really like the part. Put it on a schedule. Forget about it. It's going to vacuum every single day. Once you got the original no-go zones for the vacuuming part, it works very well. Again, once in a while I got to go find it. It's not that often. I feel like they both have the same suction as far as vacuuming. It's just a little, you end up being a little more work, a little more clumsy work when you're doing the mopping attachment. And sometimes the machine gets confused and you're pressing buttons and it kind of doesn't know where it's at. And a lot of that has to do with taking the attachment on and off. But if you can get the map to where you like it, I think it is actually a pretty good vacuum. It's just, it can be a little hard getting it set up and making it work correctly. I guess I'm just used to the one that just vacuums. You just get used to it just works. Whereas you're not having to fiddle with it, touch it, other than you're doing your maintenance. You do have to keep on your maintenance. You know, once a month at least, you're taking those filters out, you're blowing everything out. Take it outside, have a blower. Even though it is bagless, you do end up with a lot of the fine particles inside the debris. So I think we're just going to stick with vacuuming and then just mopping our floor with normal. We got like one of those new Shark vacuums that vacuums and mops your floor. It's kind of like a stick vacuum, and those work really well. So I am going to get the Roomba, Roomba AI, or the Roomba one that has the mopping, and the Roomba J7 that does just vacuum. I will be comparing them to those also. And again, the AI one, the original one, it's come down in price so much. It's like $350, $360. That's a phenomenal price for what you get. I love the self-emptying, long battery life. It just works. This one is still up there pretty good, around $800, $900, maybe $600. If you're willing to do the little extra work and kind of fiddle around with it, it does an okay job. I'm just not ready to do that part yet. So I hope this video helps. If there's any comments, anything that you'd like to leave in the comments down below, I check my comments. If you got a question about either one of these, or you'd like to see a comparison with any other robot vacuums. My robot vacuum videos are more real world. I use them. Again, I've had this AI for over a year. Absolutely love it. I had this one for 2 months, almost going on 3 months. Gave it a really good try. I really wanted to like it because I like Shark products. So mine are more of real world. I want to figure out where I struggled, so where you might struggle with it also. Again, it's going to be the app and kind of fiddling around with that. I think Shark needs to come out with a better app. And again, I don't go into all the physics of the vacuuming part of it. To me, they just work. I put it on a cleaning. I empty that. There's a ton of stuff in the chamber, so I'm like, man, it's vacuuming. And I feel like our house is clean. So again, I really hope this video helps. If you could, please like and subscribe.